My name is Jesse Petersdorf. I'm recording up all the way up here in Maine. Was born and raised in Maine. I'm 24 years old. From a small little fishing village called Port Clyde. I live in Thomaston right now. Um, I have a 6-year-old son, and I'm certainly grateful for all the good things God's done in my life. Even though it's been a short road, it's been a hard road. Um, but I'm certainly grateful for it because I wouldn't be at where I am today without all of the struggles, without uh, all of the trials and the temptations, the shortcomings that I've faced in my life. Um, I've been out of uh, Teen Challenge for 4 years. I spent a year in Teen Challenge. It was arguably the hardest year of my life, but I can safely say that um, God has changed my life. I grew up in church, so from an infant I was in a church setting. Um, right now I'm actually a little less than a month away from taking my exhorter's exam in the Church of God. Recently ordained youth pastor by the local church that I attend, and I'm certainly glad for God's long suffering because it's been a long haul. It's been a short ride, but it's been a long haul. I don't know if that makes any sense, uh, but I'm glad for what He's done in such a short time. I know there's a scripture that says in these last days, God will do a quick work. Um, and I believe that because I'm experiencing that in my own life. I'm not that old. At least I'd like to think I'm not. But I've certainly seen God do some amazing things in my life. I was dead. I was dead and I was gone. And for some reason, He's completely and totally restored my life to a point that it never was before. Uh, my life is all for Him. I wish that it could be more for Him than it is right now. But I'm glad that we're all a work in progress. I'm grateful to have the opportunity, the struggle. It's been an opportunity as well as a struggle, being a small business owner, a contractor, being a single father, taking care of a rambunctious 6-year-old all week by myself, owning a business, going to school, being a youth pastor, just being a member of a congregation, doing the other facets of ministry that I do, such as jail and prison ministry. Um, it certainly keeps me busy, and so it's a challenge, as well as the courses the Church of God's got me on. It's the struggle is real, but I'm grateful for a small family unit that I have. Uh, if anybody's watching this, please do pray for my family. Um, my grandmother and myself are really the only practicing Christians in our family. But I'm believing that God's doing a work in their hearts right now. And He has been, and I know He'll continue to until they come to the knowledge of salvation. So my parents abused me, physically, mentally, emotionally. I was putting it lightly. I come from a very hard upbringing. That's one thing about anywhere in the world. Where you come from is no dictator of how you're raised. So one thing I've been careful and intentional with in my walk, in my life as a father, a young father, is to love my son. Uh, Not to say that I don't correct him, but when I do it in love, and I try and give him understanding rather than just disciplining him. And doing it in love, letting him know that I still care, and that I don't enjoy correcting him. I'm very grateful for the negative experiences that I've had throughout my entire life, because they've shown a lot of area for improvement, if you would. And I know that when my son takes away from myself, that he'll hopefully take away the same. That you know, I'm not the best father, but he could certainly take away quite a few areas of improvement. So, other than jail, prison, uh, youth ministry, I do children's church, because in my role right now as youth pastor, technically we're looking for a children's pastor, so I technically am not in that department, if you would. I don't know if there really is departments, but I do teach children's church a couple days a week, or a couple Sundays a month. I play the bass in our worship team. I kind of just picked it up a few years ago and learned how to play by ear. It's pretty cool. I play an acoustic guitar. I'm not very good, but I enjoy worshiping our King, and I do it every now and then on Sunday night or something, as well as preaching on a Sunday night here or there, as I'm asked. Some of you know how that is, being a youth pastor. So, what does it mean to be a Christian leader? To be a Christian leader essentially means to be a follower of Christ. I'm a sucker for being pretty simple. And I believe that it is just that simple. If I'm following Christ, other people are going to follow me as I follow Christ. The difference between leadership and Christian leadership, well, if you're not a Christian, you're not following Christ. You're just following your methodology, and that'll only get you so far. But Christ, He'll take you all the way, and I'm convinced of that. Biblical passages, understanding leadership. I look at the story of Timothy, or the epistle that Paul wrote to Timothy, and you see all of the qualifications of leadership. You see all of the expectations of leadership. Paul set a really high bar, and I think it's pretty phenomenal that he did that, so that we have that today. That there is some pretty high expectations, for your family, how your children and your spouse conducts themselves, how you conduct yourself, what you do with your money, what you do with your time. Those are all things that are in there. And some of the things I would very much like to learn in this course. I like these courses because everyone's different, everyone's new. I'm running out of time here because I like to talk. I'm working. God's got to do a lot of work on me and being concise. That's one thing I see a lot of you, my peers here. They're very concise. Everyone's concise. I lack in that department, but I know God's working on us all in different ways. and hope that's something that I would like for God to work in me on and through this course, to be a little more concise and a little less rambling. Uh, so God bless you guys. I look forward to all of I like criticism. I really do appreciate criticism. Not so quick to give it because I don't feel as though I'm necessarily in a place where that is usually appropriate. But be blessed. Thank you for listening to me ramble. All right.